Oh, how fabulous. Hello, and welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and in today's episode, I chat to the very fabulous Lisa Phillips. Now, she is a travel agent and has been a travel agent for a long time, and we go into that because obviously last year, 2020, was a hideous year, and it still remains an industry that is stumped. And we talk all about that. She's a fabulous lady. She looks $1 million. I had to say, like, her outfit was fantastic. But outside of that, she's a smart lady. I actually was so honoured that she asked me to come in and do some of the rooms in her home, to design them, redesign them rather, and style them. And when I walked into her house, I thought, what do you need me for? I don't understand. It looks so fabulous. But we did do some fabulous things as well. So there's that. So Lisa Phillips, I hope you enjoy talking to her. Oh, another fabulous thing, she's an identical twin, and we talk about that as well. So Lisa Phillips, I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, and welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and today my fabulous guest is the very lovely Lisa.
Hello, now, Toni.
I was going to say Lisa from,
and
then I just wanted to make sure that I get the name of it right. Lisa from Travel in Style with Lisa. Lisa from Travel in Style with Lisa. Lisa.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I know that was a very lengthy introduction, wasn't it?
That's all right, more the merrier.
Just went on and on and on. so much. I wanted to get that right because that is your personal business. You're a travel agent, and oh my God, can you hear these people outside laughing? Okay, it's so professional here and we're all in the soundproof recording studio. We're not.
They're laughing because they heard you say that she's a travel agent.
Oh,
you poor thing. Sorry.
We will talk about that because that was one of the industries that was really, and has been, and still is being really affected by this nasty thing called COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go back. So welcome. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come here.
Welcome.
And also, I just want to just pay special attention to what Lisa's wearing today. She looks so fabulous. Look at those boots.
Thanks.
I love. Who are they by?
Country Road.
Country Road. You heard it right here. Are they new season or old
They
season?
are. Brand new.
Okay, new season Country Road. Write that down. Clocked. Noted. You look very, very fabulous. You always do look very fabulous. Now, we met quite a few years ago now, actually, and we met because I ended up doing a job for you.
An amazing job for me.
Well, thank you. But through another lady at school, her children and my children go to the same school, and I did her house when I was first starting out with the styling business, it was called back then. And I think you had seen her house or something?
Yeah, I went there and I was like, what has happened here? It looks amazing.
Oh, I love it.
And she said, oh my goodness, Toni Newman is amazing.
Oh,
and I said, I need her number. I need her.
I love it. And then I get this call from Lisa, and I go around to your house, which is just, I actually walked in and went, why am I here?
Your words were, this house doesn't need styling. And I was like,
okay, bye. I just wanted you to tell me that. No, I did. I walked in and I went, I don't understand. Well, you've got so many fabulous things, and there was all these really cool things. It was like the gold pig.
Yes.
That was there, and I'm like, I love all these little beautiful trinkets. And then, so we ended up doing it. We painted and we did a whole sort of thing, but you have amazing style yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Because, so we were talking about the fact that a lot of the stuff that you have in your home is from your travels.
Yes.
And so there we are, travel agent. You are a lady of the world.
I am. Love travel. It's very sad.
So, well, we'll talk about this now, but how did you go way back? When you were in school, what were you going to do? Like, did you always think, I'm going to be a travel agent, I'm going to travel the world, I love it?
In year 10, I did work experience in a travel agency in Brighton, and I just loved it. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do.
What did you love about it though?
The talking about travel, talking about destinations, the different countries, and all the detailing behind it. Like I just resonated with me.
Yeah, right. And so what did you do? Year 10. I mean, I had no clue what I wanted to do in year 10. So what did you do? What did you have to study?
So because I did so well in the work experience, after year 12, I applied for William Anglis to do an associate diploma in travel and tourism. It was quite funny actually. There was 4,000 applicants and 40 positions.
Wait, hang on. 4,000 applicants.
Yeah.
And 40 positions. Okay.
Yes. And because the lady at this Brighton travel agency had given me the most absolute glowing reference, I got in.
Oh, I love that.
Now the irony
Amazing.
was I'd been doing outdoor education at Brighton Tech at this point, so I wasn't doing the proper HSC, VCE, anything like that. Meanwhile, my twin sister Nicole is
not exact twin. What are they called? Identical twin.
Identical. She's at McKinnon High doing the full studying of VCE, and she also applied for William Anglis, and I got in and she didn't. And my family were outraged.
Oh.
Lisa spent the whole of year 12 kayaking and, you know, doing outdoor education stuff.
Meant to be though.
Meant to be.
Meant to be.
Yeah.
So you got into travel by this fabulous lady that had given you this glowing reference. I love that. Meant to be. And you get in and you start doing it. And what is it? Everything that you imagined it was going to be?
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I had a good handle on what the role was, but I think also being so young, I was in it for the perks as well.
Yeah. Because you would have been promised flights that were like $150 to London or crazy stuff like that. Or I'm making it like it was that
free flight. Like there were always incentives. An airline might sell 10 of my seats, and you can have your own free ticket to London. So,
stop it. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should have done that. I didn't travel till I was much later. And so, do you remember the first destination? Like, where was your first overseas trip?
When I was 8 or 9 years old, I went to Bali with Mum and my sister, of course.
That would have been a very different Bali.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Very different. And then in year 7, my grandparents took us to Hawaii. And then I didn't go overseas again until I was, 19, I think.
And this is when you were in the biz?
Yeah.
And so where did you have to go first for your, what are they called? Not junkets, what are they called? Educational, whatever.
Familiarisation trips.
Look at you, 19, living the dream. Where did you go?
Well, I didn't actually start with the company I began with. I worked with a Russian travel agency in Balaclava straight after William Anglis, and I was the only one in the office that spoke English. There was one computer, and the ladies would just sit there and drink gin and speak in Russian.
Oh my God, I love it!
It was fantastic. So like literally thrown in the deep end. It wasn't until I moved on to the next agency group that I had my first trip.
Oh my God. And that's hilarious. There's a movie in that. There's totally a movie in that.
They were
Sitting there
fantastic.
Drinking vodka, speaking Russian, and you're just there going, and you want to go to where?
And they just looked down
fabulous?
at me. No, they hated me. Who's this young girl?
Little whippersnapper. And so you went to another agency?
Yes.
And then got more established?
Yeah, well, I ended up staying with this agency group for the next 25 years.
Okay, so you were really, really established. You hunkered down and got your own desk.
I did.
And so the first trip away in your first, I guess, proper job was to?
Ireland.
Yes. Oh, see, that's one place I would love to go to. Was it magic?
We went for 2.5 weeks, and there was a group of probably 10 of us. No. A few more, but we're all given hire cars, and so literally the famille was to jump in a car, here's your map, and this is where you're headed today. So we went on a tour bus, walking behind someone with a flag. It was just incredible. We went into these little towns that, unbelievable.
Beautiful.
And of course we're not forgetting the Irish pubs.
Oh Oh, and the food. What did you have? What's that stuff called? The mashed potatoes?
Guinness pie and mash or something like
Yeah,
that.
there's a mashed potato the Irish do, and it's got bacon and spring onion in it. They call it, is it champ or something weird? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just Ireland, full stop.
It's honestly, it's one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Do you feel that when you travel, you come back a changed person?
Yes, certain places.
And do you think it's when you go to more commercial places or to...
I'd rather be off the beaten track a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, don't get me wrong, been to Vegas a few times, but you'd have to kill me to get me there now. I don't know, it's just so in your face and busy, but I think Asia's my favourite. I just love getting off the beaten track in Asia.
Yeah.
Find me on a beach somewhere with a book, getting to know the locals.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Well, actually, I can imagine that, but I can also imagine you in somewhere like Vegas as well, because you kind of, you kind of work in both places for me.
You get the best of both worlds. Yeah, you're actually right. I love Asia, but I love, going to nice restaurants in New York.
New York is one of the most favourite places in the world.
Isn't it incredible?
It's just, you either really love it, I think, or you just really don't.
I don't understand people who would say don't. I don't understand them.
I don't understand them either. I mean, we went to, we were doing sort of a work trip, and we sort of met before we were going to New York, and they'd just come back from New York and were going home. We met in this place. We met in Cincinnati, and they were saying, "Oh, we've just come back from New York. It's so noisy and so dirty." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's what I'm waiting for, the noise." And there was there's so many people. Decline. And there were so many. There were so many people there, and I'm thinking, yes, that's exactly why you travel.
But it's
to just immerse yourself.
The New Yorkers. Just visually just looking at, are they the coolest people on earth?
Oh, so cool. And even people that aren't, genuine New Yorkers that have been there for forever, it's just it's the idea of that lifestyle, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's what, so do you have a favourite place that you've ever travelled to? I mean, obviously New York. If it wasn't New York, so take out New York.
Still Ireland. I've been there now 3 times just because I had to keep on going back.
And do you go back to the same places, or do you find that you want to explore somewhere different?
I'm actually quite a creature of habit. So that's why I've been to Bali 57 times or something ridiculous like that. But I do stay in different places, and then sometimes I just crave the familiarity. So I go back to see how it's changed and evolved. Yeah, but I'd say one of the best places I went to was Lebanon, I would say.
Really? And did you go there on your own or with people? Mm-hmm. You went there on your own?
No, I went with a friend.
Okay.
And back in the day when Emirates first started flying into Australia, the travel agent airfares were insane. Yeah. So literally for the one airfare, we flew Melbourne, Dubai, Beirut, Dubai, Sri Lanka. So I had a week in Sri Lanka, then to Singapore, and then Singapore, Melbourne, all on the one ticket for $450. I know, they're not like that anymore.
Far out.
Yeah, you can swear.
No, I was going to go $450 friggin' dollars. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you literally? So you've stayed in the travel industry your whole life?
My whole life.
Your whole life, and have you literally travelled around the whole globe? Have you been everywhere?
No, because don't forget I've got to work at some point.
Schmirk, darling, work schmirk.
So working full time, obviously, I'd always go to Bali once a year, and then somewhere new, somewhere that I hadn't been. And then in the last 3 years, I think I've had a lot more opportunity to travel a little bit more because obviously I was mobile. So my friends were hating me because I'd have a photo of me sitting by the pool with my laptop. Today's office.
Yeah. Well, you've actually helped us a few times on our family holidays, and in actual fact, just before we went away, did you do that one? Yes.
Is that when you went to New York?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was, I'm trying to remember how many years ago that was now. COVID's affected me.
Oh, it's affected everyone.
That was just, so we were really lucky.
That must have been 2019. 19. Yeah.
Because we weren't going to go until the June, And we were sitting there one night, and I think this is the beauty of travel and just going, let's just go for it. We said, in fact, we will go for Christmas. We'll go to England to see my husband's family. Mm-hmm. And then while we're there, we may as well go to America. Let's go to LA. Let's take Jack to New York. And because we took him to New York and LA when he was only 4 and went to Disneyland for his birthday. We were there for work. And we said, let's go there again on the way back and we'll go to Singapore. And I rang you and went, right, this is what it is. And you just went, bing, 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 magic wand, here it is. And I'll never forget, you did something, I don't even know what it was called, but you did something when we got to Dubai, and it was like a stopover in the middle of the night or something. It was crazy. I was out of my head, tight. We were driving, walking around like zombies. And you'd done something that we got found by somebody who took us straight through. It was a thing, I don't even know what it was. It was the guy, we didn't have to wait in this really, really long line because you'd organised something.
It's because you had a connecting flight.
Yeah, but he came to find us. Like you'd organised something that we didn't know about, and we just went, oh.
Done. That's
and
why you book with a travel agent.
That's why you book with a travel agent. We would never have done, we were just so tired, and we were going, what do we do? Where do we go?
And it's such a big airport.
And it was really, really, really big, and it is a massive airport. And you'd done this thing, and we both looked at each other and we went, oh my God, this is, oh my. And he just, because Phil's done a lot of travelling, and he just went, I would never have thought of this. This is so amazing. So it was very fabulous. And you've done lots of, you've worked on corporate jobs for me as well, which is fantastic. So your business now is Travel in Style with Lisa?
Yes, that's right.
So COVID obviously has put a kibosh on travelling?
I think
overseas.
Yes.
How did you cope?
I think the worst thing is I set up the business in 2018, and from the start I was very busy and had many clients, and I think by the time I got to March 2020 I had to unwind literally the previous 18 months of work. Was still going. I'm still chasing refunds 12 months down the track. I've still got one particular client. Out of his $60,000, he's only got $59,200 back so far. So he's a bit disappointed.
I think you've done really well. Oh my gosh.
But literally, the system's not designed to work backwards. So as a result, we deal with a lot of suppliers. So I'm relying on them to refund me. But because there was no travel, they would cut their workforce
so you can't
in half. You can't get on the phone. You can't get on the phone. If you send an email, you get a bounce back. So literally, I think I had about 187 individual refunds that I was chasing.
My goodness!
And don't forget, when you work for yourself in the travel industry, you only get paid once the booking's finalised, and then the airlines paid your commission, the hotels paid your commission.
Yeah.
But if I'd booked, clients' trips and I'd planned it and I'd sent deposits through and they weren't going for another few months, it wasn't paid in full. So then all of a sudden I've worked for free, quoting it, booking it, sending all the money out, then getting all the money back. And the worst thing is now a lot of companies weren't giving refunds, and they're still not. So clients have credits, which means again you're going to work for free on actually rebooking again.
Yeah, and finding a different place because it's not going to be overseas.
So bookings are being triple handled, and you've derived no income from it.
Oh, Lisa. That's terrible.
I know, but I'm not alone in it, so it's just...
That's frustrating.
Incredibly.
So how do you think, what's the way out then? When does this madness end? Are people coming to you to book amazing trips
within Australia?
Within Australia. Is that happening now?
Yeah, definitely.
That's good.
But what people are finding, I think, so I've got so many clients now going to Queensland. I think the first in December, when we were all in the industry excited about booking people's holidays again, and then there was more border closures, and again we went through the same thing. We started making bookings. Oh God, we've got to unwind them all again. So a lot of people in the industry are very quite weary, I guess, on taking on a strong workload again.
Yeah, of course.
But not for me, because I'm not scared of anything.
Yeah, you're quite the fierce lady. And look, I noticed that, I recognise that when we work together, and I got to know you a little bit and just kind of, experienced your space and what you do and how you live your life. You're a mother of an amazing young girl that seems, like she's doing really well. And you actually have as well an identical twin sister.
That's right.
Who she is literally identical, and she sounds the same, and she looks exactly the same, and the same.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that same personality? Like, you do? Oh my life. Double trouble.
She started in travel 1 year before me.
Oh wow.
So we work for the same company. She actually only finished up there late last year, and she's Sydney based, but same company, and she was on the corporate side of things. But every time we had an overseas ball or something like that we were both at, I'd have to walk around and say hi to all these people, and people would run up and hug me and kiss me and go, Nicole! I'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't know you. But half the time I couldn't be bothered, and I just hug and kiss them back.
Yeah, you're like,
okay, go away now, I don't know.
I would love to be a twin. I think that's a thing that, most young people want. They just want to have someone that, hang out with. Were you guys besties when you were little?
Not when we were little, because we'd fight. Like, with the hairdryer and what have you. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we, got to teenagers, we were best friends. And we're so similar. Like, we look the same, we dress the same. Often I'll turn up at the airport and she'll pick me up and we've got the same outfit on.
Really?
We read the same books at the same time. Like, I'm reading this really great book, and she goes, oh my God, so am I.
Do you ever get, ill at the same time?
Yes.
Really? What is that?
It's
fascinating.
Yeah, it's only happened once or twice, but the major thing was when I was on a work trip to Hong Kong one time, I did my back, and I literally had 2 prolapsed discs, came home and I needed really serious surgery.
Wow.
So I had the surgery, recovered from that, and then literally 3 months later, Nicole didn't do a thing. She didn't lift or do anything. She had the same surgery.
That's very strange.
I know. Poor thing. I had to go through surgery because I did it.
I know, empathy surgery.
Yeah.
Oh. And so do you, so is she staying in travel as well? Are you both? No. That end, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay in travel?
I am.
Because you're so good at it.
But I have to be honest. Like, I've taken on another role with another company, and I'll still be doing travel, but I've got so many clients with credit notes and refunds. If the buck stops with me, if I stop doing what I do, what do my clients do? Yeah. So literally, I've got to look after my customers.
And you do it so well.
And I love it.
And you love it. Obviously, you really, really love it. If you've been in it for 25 years or whatever, you're
passionate.
Not going anywhere.
No.
And so what do you think you're going to be doing in 5 years then? I mean, that's a really hard question for you.
You know what? If travel doesn't open up in the next few years, international travel. That's my passion. I get a bit bored booking someone to go to Sydney.
I remember when you booked our
exciting.
trip. I remember when you booked our trip, it was just like, it would have been really interesting watching you do it, but we were I could just imagine you going ding, 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 and you're pulling up these memories from that place. And doing
it's like a jigsaw, right?
And
and figuring out, how am I going to do this for my customers the best way from A, B, C, D, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. I love the challenge and planning it all and plotting it all together.
Yeah. Big picture.
Yeah.
But do you think then maybe you'll focus a little bit on Australia, maybe, or not?
Well, I have been.
Yeah.
I have been, but yeah, it's there's a lot to say in Australia, but unfortunately, airfares to some places are very expensive. The hotels at the moment are very expensive compared to overseas, and I think but everyone is getting to the point where they just need to travel. Yeah. Like, I was talking to a girl on the weekend, she's like, I'm so stressed because I haven't travelled. Yeah. And I'm like, I get it, I know. Yeah, I feel your pain.
Yeah. But I mean, look, do you think a couple of years and it'll be all happy? I mean, it's encouraging with being able to go to New Zealand.
Definitely, but people are still scared to book flights. because what if, you know, they're flying out of Sydney and all of a sudden there's another outbreak and there's a snap border closure. It's that fear of the unknown. We've never lived through this, experienced it, so yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, we'll have that South Pacific bubble, Singapore, Hong Kong.
That would be
that
amazing.
Sort of,
yeah.
Oh, get me to Hong Kong. That would be amazing. Yeah.
You know what? Yes, that would be very beautiful to be able to do that and just have that.
Baby
even
steps.
Baby steps. Even if you only had 5 sort of destinations you could
Yeah,
go to.
and that would be enough, like just to, I think, you know, help some people with their travel desires.
Yeah, or their travel anxiety. Or lack of travel anxiety.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Fascinating. And look, whatever you're going to do it brilliantly, and you'll continue, and you're just so good at what you do. And I'm very glad that you came in to have a chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're
Lisa
welcome.
from Travel in Style with Lisa. We're going to put all your details on our little business that we do, the little videos and whatnot.
Thank you.
And you can book with Lisa. And when it all opens up overseas, she's your gal.
I am, indeed. Thank you.